Hollywood, you know, Hollywood still listening and watch sports. You know that? We got everything you need to know before the 2026 playoffs. You know, Hollywood always busy, so you know he don't got time to watch the full NBA season. So I guess this our catch up. You feel me? Make sure you know what I'm saying. Captions on. No, Hollywood love reading.
The regular season is now over and it's time for the playoffs. Whether you
Oh,
watch
that's what
every
fan
game or
Hollywood
haven't been
is.
able to keep up at all,
Y'all already
this is what
knowing.
you need to know about every
Y'all
playoff
already
team.
knowing.
I've broken these playoff teams into 6 tiers, starting with the teams that are just happy to
Don't worry
be here.
about it.
And if you stay until
Don't
the
worry
end,
about it.
you'll hear my
Just
prediction
know my
for the
team in the play
2026
right
champs.
now. And that's
This tier is exactly what it sounds
I'm
like.
hoping we get
Teams
to
that are just happy
you know
to
what
be
I'm
here
saying.
and are probably not
That
going any
playoff
further.
spot. Go against that OKC win
The
first
Kings have
round.
accomplished their two main
Feel
goals
me?
this season. Get younger by trading James Harden and Ivica Zubac for Benedict Mathurin and Darius
I'm
Garland,
keeping a
and
buck.
make the play-in so OKC does not have a great pick. This team is still too old and slow to keep up defensively, and they don't have another reliable scorer alongside Kawhi Leonard. The biggest storyline surrounding this
Kawhi
team
healthy
will
right
be
now?
what happens in the Kawhi Leonard case when the offseason comes.
It's cold right now. Like crazy.
This is a
Love
lost year
to
for
grab
Golden
me a
State,
hoodie for
with Jimmy Butler out for the season, and then Steph Curry went down with
His
a knee
body
injury,
is sick
which is
right
why
now.
Golden State has slipped down in the standings. This season is a win if they luck into a top pick, and Brandon Pochevsky does not get locked into an expensive contract. After a mediocre start, the Blazers ended the season really strong. Since March, the Blazers have the second best defense in the league. With a plethora of great guard and wing defenders, they
What
like to
seat the
push it
Blazers
really
at?
high and make the ball handler work. Danny Avdia has also continued to build his game up as a great slasher,
Hold on.
especially on a team with minimal shooting.
I was
But
gonna
besides
keep
him,
it right
the
there.
Blazers don't have enough ball
I'm gonna
handlers
keep it just
to
that.
keep up with good
Damn.
defensive teams.
They just showing breaks, all of it. Bro,
The Heat
I
have
heard
had
the
a great
Heat got a
season
chance to
their
go to
roster.
the
Spo has revamped the offense to become much more
divisional.
ISO-heavy and fast-paced, and most will remember the 2026 Heat for a
Hearing
historic game
rumors
from
about them
Bam
going to the
Adebayo when he
conference.
scored
I'm
83
like, that
points against the Wizards.
conference?
But this team is just not
The
talented
Heat?
enough to give anyone a scare,
No.
even with a coach like
I don't
Spo
got the
running
Heat
the
going
show.
to the conference.
This next category is called Meh for teams
know,
that didn't luck
Hollywood.
into the playoffs, but are very
Hollywood
obviously
understand
mid.
basketball. He understand soccer more than
The
anything.
Magic might be one of the most disappointing teams in the East.
I thought he
Despite
was
adding
finna
Desmond
hit
Bane,
that.
who's
I'm
had a
like,
good
hold
season,
on.
their offense is still
No.
below league average. The main
I
reason
heard
is
about the
because
Magic.
of their inability to attack the basket.
How the
Carroll and
Hornets
Wagner are
doing?
both huge,
I've been seeing
but they're not
LaMelo
quick,
pop
so they
off
have a
like
hard
crazy,
time
like
creating
all the
good
time.
angles around the rim.
All the
This team
time
seems like
I'm
they have the
scrolling
personnel
on
for
Instagram,
postseason,
I see
but their
LaMelo made
offense is
a
just too
step back
clunky for
fadeaway
them to
three
make
like
a
he
real run.
Curry.
This postseason determines if Jamal
I'm telling
Murray is
you,
fired
LaMelo
and
might
hopes of getting
be
a coach that's
getting
more
there to
offensively
becoming one of the
inspired.
best ISO players of all time.
A
You
lot
know
of good
he's not
things
the
happened for
best.
Philly this season.
You still
Their
got
first round
Kyrie,
pick,
you still
DJ
got
Edgerton,
AI.
looks like a great piece for the
But I'm
future.
like, the way
Joel
LaMelo
Embiid actually
going,
played
he
for
looking like he
decent
about to
stretches of the
become one of the
season
best
and has
ISO
started to
players
look
of
like
all
himself
time.
again. And with Tyrese Maxey taking another leap as a scorer,
That
the Sixers have gotten
and he
him
can
down
really
the
shoot
stretch.
that rock.
Because of his quickness, he has
He
the
can
best
really
chance to
shoot
draw
that
two
rock too.
and find his teammates for open shots. But this team is just
Why
not
let
strong enough
LaMelo get wide
defensively.
open?
Joel Embiid is not laterally quick enough to be the defensive
Heard
anchor he
Spurs
was
was
in the
doing
past,
good
and his
too.
team is just too old and small to really hang
Oh,
with any of the
how is
East
Boston
contenders.
doing?
Watch for teams to try to
Good
go
like
small
normally.
to spread
You know
them out,
Boston don't fall
especially
off.
at the end of games.
Toronto Raptors.
The Toronto Raptors are also one of the pleasant surprises in the East.
Yup.
Once known only
The
as
Raptors
a scorer,
are a pleasant
Brandon Ingram
surprise.
has become one of the better defenders on this team.
Like crazy.
You pair that with one of the best defenders in the league in Scotty Barnes, and that's how the Raptors have the sixth
Oh, they
best
got defense.
Barnes is one of the most versatile wing defenders, as he can guard 1 through 5, and Ingram does a
Okay.
great job using his length to play the passing lane.
Okay,
They have
they
other
like to
gritty
play
defenders,
basketball.
most notably Jamal
That's
Shed,
why
who has been a great
they not
spark
no
on
pleasant
the
surprise
bench as
then.
well.
They playing
The
basketball.
problem
They
is,
playing to
this
win.
team just doesn't have enough on the offensive end. Barnes and Ingram
Honestly, on the
great
east
shooters,
side,
so
it's
they like to
low-key a
operate from the
competition.
mid-range area,
On the
and
west
Raptors
side, it's
just don't
between
have
like
enough
2-3
shooters around
teams,
them
but on the
to really
east
give one
side,
of the East teams a real
I
series.
believe anybody from 1 through 6 could
The
really
Suns look like a really impressive team for the first 4 months,
ring
but a
for
cold
real.
ending to the season has them in this
Like
category.
it'd be a
After
surprise,
shipping
but
off
like
Kevin
it
Durant,
wouldn't be like
they built a
as
team
much
that
as
become like the
surprise.
Walmart version of the
Do I
Detroit
s-
Pistons.
who I got on
They
the
grab the
East? I
fourth
still
most
got Boston
offensive
on the
rebounds
East.
because they have at least 2 people crashing the glass at all times.
Boston
And they
just
also
always
forced the third
balling.
most turnovers this
JT
season,
healthy.
right behind Detroit and OKC. And just like those two teams, the Suns go 10 deep as well,
Shoot,
which is
I'm
why they
also
bring
thinking
that
about the
energy every
Pistons
night.
too. But
Where
I'm
they have
thinking
struggled,
Pistons
though,
a
is on the
regular season
offensive end.
team.
This is a team that plays a lot of
Pistons
pick
is
and
a
roll,
regular
but they
season
don't have the
team.
elite
I don't think
playmaking
they
to be
playoff
playing this
worthy.
style. This is already a
But who knows?
successful
They might
season,
shock me
and look for them to
and go
find
to
more
the
offensive juice
conference.
in
You
the
know what I'm
offseason.
saying? Winning game 6.
These next teams aren't title contenders, but they have enough to at least make the first round opponent uncomfortable and can even win a series. Here's a crazy stat about the Charlotte
What
Hornets.
seed are the
When their normal
Hornets?
starting five all play, they are 27-7 as of the end of March, and it's for good reason. This team goes as far as LaMelo Ball goes. Because he's the only passer on this team, they love to initiate guard-to-guard screens because the screener can then choose what to do. Here the Hawks are in a 3-2 zone, so Knipple and the Kalkbrenner are both up, trying to set screens for LaMelo. Now Knipple has the choice to set the
You
screen,
know how to read
but
the
he sees
court?
all the space on the wing. So he just slips that screen to move out there.
Baller.
No Hawk player can pick him up in time, and that's just too easy. This has been Charlotte's go-to action, and a main reason they have a top 5 offense to start 2026. Musa
That new number
Diabate
7, don't
is
let
also
him
their
get
one-man
open.
defense. The Hornets' perimeter
LaMelo
defenders
got Hall
aren't
of
great,
Fame diamond.
but what they'll do is funnel the ball handler into Diabate, who then can clean up the rest.
Nah,
He's also been
let's give
great at
gold.
guarding
Let's
multiple
give
things at
LaMelo
a
the
time,
gold
and it's
diamond.
because he can read the player's instincts and then
What
make the
the-
right play accordingly. Their biggest weakness, though, is their lack of size. Diabate and Kalkbrenner are both very lanky, so they'll have trouble dealing with bruiser type of bigs. Also,
Like I
with
said,
so many
they might be a
defensive
first-round
responsibilities
exit.
shouldered to them,
They might be
look for
first-round
opposing
exits,
teams to
low
bring
key.
them out and then find guys in the
Looking
paint.
at it, they really
Assuming
might be
they get out
first-round
of the
exits.
plane,
Upset?
this team's offense is very potent, but how their bigs hold up will determine how far they can go. The Atlanta
Tell me
Hawks
about the
enter the
Hawks.
playoffs as one of the hottest teams in basketball, making Jalen Johnson their primary playmaker and getting Nikhil Alexander.
Because I've been
Walker
seeing the
from
Hawks
Florida
win
seem
crazy
to take off.
games
But the
like
biggest key
that
to their
I'm not
success
expecting
is
them to
actually
win. Like,
Dyson
I
Daniels.
tuned into a
What
Hawks
makes
game.
Daniels
Next
interesting
thing you know,
is
it's
that
one
he
of the
shoots less
closest
than
games
20%
possible.
from
They hit a
the
game
three-point
winner.
line, but he's impacted
I'm
the
like,
offense in so many other ways.
the Hawks
First,
like
he's been
that?
great at attacking the basket, either from the dribble handoff when the defense takes away the first option, or when he has the ball and the defense is completely sagging off of him. He also ignites the Hawks in transition, pushing the tempo, and either finding his teammates
Oh,
with
they a
good
tempo
shots
team.
or
They
taking
tired
it
8 teams
himself to
out.
the basket. Because Daniels has been much more forceful with the
That's how they
basketball,
win.
everyone on
They
the
tired 8
Hawks is
teams
now
out.
a scoring threat. Besides
And they
Daniels,
use that
this
against
team
them.
has
Ball
4 or
out.
5 guys that can all attack the basket. And the
Good
reason they have so much space
take.
is
What the
because they have 2 stretch bigs. Onyeka Okongwu shoots 38%
Let
from
me
the
start
three-point
learning these
line,
people's
and when he
names on the
goes to the
Hawks.
bench, the Hawks could slot Jock Landale into that same exact spot. This gives the Hawks so much space to ISO, and then they can play off of that. Defensively speaking, this team is very active and has a lot of great perimeter defenders. Dyson Daniels is the most obvious, but with Kuminga, Alexander Walker, and Okongwu there as well, the Hawks do a great job keeping everything in front and making teams beat them with tough shooting. That's why this team is going to be a handful in the first
Good
round
defense.
series, and if they continue to advance.
I'm acting like I'm reacting to
This
a
next
highlight
category
reel.
are teams that have a lot of talent, but have been disappointing and are likely heading home earlier than
Contenders.
expected. The Houston Rockets come into the playoffs
think
as
so,
one of
too.
the hottest teams in basketball.
I think
but
so
there's still a
too. I
lot
think
to
they've
be
been getting
concerned
lucky
about.
all season.
Let's start with their
I'm really
shooting.
keeping it a
Ahmed
stat.
Thompson is only
I
shooting
think the
23% from
Rockets
the
been
so a
getting
lot of big men
lucky
will be guarding
all
them,
season
but they're actually
long.
helping out. in
Like the
other
way they
ways.
play and the
Couple
way
that
they
with
just
Tari
get bailed
Eason,
out
who
game
was in
after
one of the
game
biggest
after
shooting slumps
game.
in March,
I'm just
and
like,
another
bro,
non-shooter in Alperen Şengün, there's reasons
this
to
is
be
all
concerned.
luck.
The biggest factor
Like
is
if
their
we really
court
keep it in a
spacing.
buck, and
On
then they
10
struggled against the
possessions, especially
broken
down the
down
stretch,
Warriors
Ime Udoka
literally
has
not too
figured
long
out
ago.
how to position and move their
I
players
got the
in
Rockets
to
first
keep
round
the defense
exits.
on their toes because everyone is usually standing around.
For real.
Defenses can load up on the ball handler, and they haven't.
And then you
figured
got
out many
freaking
counters to
Wemby
them.
like
The
bullying
most obvious
KD
time
and
was
stuff.
when the
They
Lakers
best
spent a whole
player.
half
KD
doubling
is their
Kevin
best
Durant.
player, and KD
Durant had a hard time
reaching
navigating
40.
those double teams, and the Rockets players couldn't position themselves in spots to take advantage of it.
Like, who
The
else
key
do
to
the
Houston
Rockets
making
have?
it through the
Jalen Green
run
that pop
is
off every once in
Alperen
a while?
Sengun. Their offense is at their best when they have Sengun at the top of the key, and he's able to find his own shot in that one-on-one
Oh,
matchup.
and
When teams feel that Sengun is getting into
28
an
dude.
offensive rhythm, that's when they start
And the
doubling,
28 dude.
and that opens everything up, especially for
28
his
dude low
teammates
key
that
tough.
can't shoot.
He know how to
Look for
play
Sengun to
basketball.
be aggressive early and often to help open up the entire offense. With that said, though, the Rockets' inability to space is the biggest concern, which will make their run through the Western Conference that much tougher. Coming into the season, the Cavaliers were one of the favorites to come out of the East. After a disappointing start to the season, they made
I
some bold
think
moves, trading Darius Garland for
the
James
Cavs are
Harden
not a
and
bad team.
acquiring
Don't
key
get that
role
wrong.
players like
Don't
Keon
get that
Ellis and
wrong.
Dennis
They're
Schroeder.
great
Their saving
1-2
grace is
seed.
that they have the best
Don't
two
get that
guards in
wrong.
the East. Harden has been an impressive
But
addition,
I don't
especially when
think
he's
they
paired
got
with
what
Jared
it
Allen.
takes.
Allen's very good at just finding
For
soft
shit.
spots on Harden drives, and Harden does a great
I
job
just
finding
don't. I don't
between
think they
those
could
pockets.
beat
When
Boston
they
in a
first played
7-game
together,
series.
Jared Allen had his best month
I
ever
don't
in
see them
February,
beating
and this
Boston in
addition
a
has
7-game
relieved
series.
Donovan Mitchell's
I feel like
offensive
they
workload
regular season
significantly.
players.
The reason this team is
If
a
I'm keeping
pretender,
it a
though,
stock,
is because they are very
I feel
small,
like
and in the playoffs where
they
mismatch
regular
fighting
season
is even more
players.
apparent, there are too many players that opposing teams can attack. Even if the Cavs bring
Like, don't get
sufficient
me
help to the
wrong.
ball,
The
a
first round
simple
they got
kick-out
that.
pass or two
Second
will be
round
good
most
enough to
likely
let
got
him
that.
get a good
But
shot.
the moment they
And
hit
even though they
that
got rid
conference
of Darius
championship
Garland, their defense after
and
the
Boston
trade
in that,
deadline is still below league average. This
I don't
team
care
can be
what the
very
regular
prone to
season
big
record
runs. If their
is.
shots don't go down, they're not strong enough
Y'all know when
defensively to
Boston
keep
go
them
to
in
the
the game.
playoffs, they come
The
to
Thunder
play
went
in the
on a
motherfucking
28-5 run to
playoffs.
start the game against them without SGA or Jada. And later in the month, the
OKC
Heat embarrassed
overpowered.
them in the fourth quarter by outscoring
Off
them
the
by
jump,
17
OKC
points.
overpowered.
So the game can quickly get
They
away
get
from them,
70,000
which
fouls
is
a
not a
game.
great recipe for
They
success
don't even really
if
gotta
they
play
want
ball.
to
They're
go on
tired.
a
They're
deep
never
run.
tired. They're always at the line. The
The
Lakers do
are
not have a
pretenders
chance of
right
winning
now
this champ.
because their two best players are hurt.
But making it
This
past
is
the
a very
first round,
top-heavy squad
without a
that
doubt.
loves using
I got
high
Lakers
pick
past
and
the first round.
roll,
I
so
got
it's
Lakers
dependent on
losing the second
fantastic
round.
playmaking for the offense
Lakers
to
are not a
be
bad team,
decent.
even with all
If Luka and
the
Reeves come
unks and
back,
stuff.
the next thing to watch for is their defense.
You got
What
Luka
made them so
averaging 20. You
successful
got
in
Reeves
March
averaging
was how
20. You got
active this
LeBron
team
averaging
was,
20.
especially with their hands in smart positioning. DeAndre Ayton is a
You
big
really got
key
Luka
to this.
averaging
Notice
30.
how his hands are up to
I seen
defer
that
in the
scoring
pass,
record,
so
that
the
scoring
Wolves try to
title.
reset the possession.
33.5
Ayton's
points per
pushing up,
game.
so Ant tries going downhill.
LeBron's still
and then
playing
runs right into
defense like
smart
crazy, and
forward
he
Harden.
47.
The other edge they have is clutch
Luka
time.
balling
They're
like
22
he
and
in his
7 in
prime
clutch
right
games,
now.
and a lot of that
We
is
witnessing
Luka
Luka's
making
prime
tough
right
shots,
now. Like
but
I
JJ
said,
Redick has drawn up creative plays when it
Austin
matters
Reeves, we
most.
witnessing his
Needing a
prime
3
right
to
now.
tie and only 1 second ago, JJ
Dang.
Redick called an elevator play to the opposite corner that got a really clean look for Austin Reeves, but he just couldn't knock it down. Look for him to draw up some really creative sets in the playoffs when the Lakers need a basket.
Austin
But
Reeves just
again,
be
none
doing
of this
stuff.
matters if Luka and Reeves
Oh,
can't come
Lakers
back
versus
in time.
Nuggets though. That might be a
Otherwise, they
game
would
7
be
though.
in this next category.
You know, game 7's become
This
dangerous
next
but
tier
flawed.
is called dangerous but flawed. These are teams that can make a deep playoff run, but they have a glaring flaw.
That's
The Detroit Pistons are the biggest sleepers.
valid take.
Despite
Low-key,
the
I
fact
agree on
they
that.
are the
Valid
number
take.
1 seed. The reason this team has been
Valid
so good
take.
is by
Without a
winning on
doubt.
the margins.
Like,
This
the
team has
Pistons
amazing
aren't
depth.
bad.
They play
There's
10
just
guys
something about
almost
the
every single
Pistons,
night,
like,
and they all can defend. So they took a page out of
I don't
OKC's
think they finna
playbook,
get that shit.
essentially trying to be as physical as possible at the point of attack. If one guy is in foul trouble, they can bring in someone off the bench to then do
forgot
the
about
same
the Knicks,
thing.
too.
As a result, this team forces the most turnovers in the
Bro,
league.
I'ma
and
keep
is the
it a
reason
buck.
why they continue to win despite Cade Cunningham being out. The other way
I'm
this
thinking
team wins
Timberwolves
is on the
versus
offensive
OKC.
glass. This team is third in offensive rebounds this season because of Jalen Duren. Duren is such
I'm
a
thinking
force around
Timberwolves
the
versus
rim because of
OKC.
his big build and motor. He's great at getting
I realize he ain't mentioned the
and his
Timberwolves
threat
yet.
as a rebounder
I'm thinking
only puts more
Timberwolves versus
pressure on the
OKC.
defense. Here,
Western
Tobias Harris
Conference
is posting up
Championship.
to Monty Kamara, and Donovan Clingan is trying to help. As Harris starts to shoot, Clingan seems to be in good position, but Duren uses his left arm to tip the
If
ball
we
to
being
himself,
realistic,
and that
unless
allows him
OKC
to
like
score
slip up,
and
get an
win.
injury,
The main
and
concern
now
is their
they
lack
season
of
over.
shooting. Besides Duncan Robinson, they have very streaky
Then I got
shooters in Kevin
Spurs
Porter
and
and Tobias
Timberwolves.
Harris. So just like against Houston,
I'm telling you,
big men will be on their
the Timberwolves,
non-shooters,
like,
and
they
they
know
just
how to play
camp out in
basketball.
the
They make
paint.
sure they get
This was
into a
most
good
evident
space
against San
where
Antonio,
they're not fighting for the
with Wemby
playoff
just growing
position,
up
but they're not
and
fighting for the
getting
number
in
1
Cade's way
seed.
enough to make
Make
it
sure they're
tough
still
on him.
healthy 50 all the
Based on
time.
how they shoot, where how they
and
space the
then
floor will determine
they
if this
ball out in
team
the
can make
playoffs all
the
the time
finals.
and get a takeover badge out of nowhere.
The Knicks came
He
into
been
the
doing it the
season hiring
past 3
Mike Brown in place
years.
of Tom Thibodeau in
Makes you
hopes of
think he
playing
finna
with more
stop.
motion and
Plus, he just
defense.
coming off of like
They
a
have done
46
that by
point game
making
too.
Karl Anthony Towns a
He
passing
dropped
lane,
40 whenever he
allowing him
feel
to
like
either
it.
run dribble handoffs or let him find cutters at the basket. This
The
creates
Knicks got
tons
a
of
couple
misdirection.
upsets in their books.
Brunson setting a screen for McBride to take this
I
dribble
do believe the
handoff
Knicks
to the pack,
probably could
but McBride
upset
gets more
somebody in the
creative
book.
by
They gonna
squeezing through
mess
the
up
screen to cut towards the
a
basket,
lot of
and that's when the
people's
Knicks are at their
brackets.
best. With more motion, the Knicks have the third best offense in the NBA. But where things get more interesting is when Brunson can't make plays with the ball. When he's off the ball, teams will deny him, which forces other guys to find their shots. And when Brunson has the ball, some teams have had tons of success doubling him, so he can't beat them with his shooting. This has taken Brunson out of games at times, and is something that smart teams will try in the playoffs. The other main factor is how Brunson and Cat will hold up on defense. Last year, the Pacers picked apart the Knicks' defense because they would put one or both of them in the action almost every single possession. So the Knicks would need to find ways to hide both of them defensively to make the finals for the first time in a really long time. The Minnesota Timberwolves are the team that can beat or lose to anyone.
Yup,
The
that's what
reason
I
this
was
team
just
is dangerous
saying.
is because they can play at any
They can
pace.
beat or
When
lose
they
to
added Ayo
anyone.
Dosunmu at the trade
That's what I
deadline,
was just
their pace jumped
saying.
from 23rd to 9th for the rest of the season. He's played particularly well with Bones Highland off the bench because they both like
Like,
to
they
run in
could really
transition.
always make the
And because they
championship
can find
run,
their own shots, the Wolves
but
suddenly have one of the deepest benches as
they could
well.
have something going on
The
that
other
just mess some
factor
stuff
is the
up.
breakout of Jaden
But
McDaniels.
like at the
His
same
stats
time, I
on
feel like
paper
the
don't look
Timberwolves are the
like it,
only
but
team in
he
the
has expanded
playoffs
his
right now that could
isolation
really
game.
beat the three
When
down
Ant has to get the
3-1
ball out
and
of his
still have a
hands,
chance to win.
McDaniels is his go-to guy.
The only
And
team
it's
in
his
the
ability
playoffs
to
right now
footwork and balance
that could still
that
pull
has
off a
them
3-1
increase
comeback.
scoring opportunities around the mid-range and paint. He's also shooting a career-high 42% from the three-point line and has punished
The
teams
only
for leaving
team.
him alone.
OKC
On the
never
other
gonna be
hand,
down
the
3-1.
Wolves are
OKC down
inconsistent
3-1, they
because
losing
of
the
their
series.
passing. No one on this team averages more
Without a
than 5
doubt.
assists a game, and it shows when they're
OKC will
forced
never
to
be able to
pass.
pull off a
On
3-1.
this one, Julius
Or
Randle trying to
2
post Derrick
used to
Jones
be in the
straight
head,
up,
which
and Kawhi Leonard comes over the
should be
double.
normalized
But Randle's way too
because
nonchalant with the
OKC
pass,
is
and it gets
OKC.
deflected.
OKC
This is
sacrificed
particularly
a lot
concerning,
over the past
especially when
few
teams are going to
years.
bring more on-ball pressure in the playoffs. When teams load up, can they space the floor properly
That's
and
gonna be a
make the right
good
reads
series.
to move the defense
OKC
on a
versus the
consistent basis?
Timberwolves.
This will probably determine
And
if
versus
they can
Shea.
finally break through and make the
Or
NBA
the
Finals.
Lakers versus OKC in a 7-game
The Denver
series.
Nuggets had struggled for good stretches of 2026, but a hot
The
end
Nuggets
to
is
the
the only
season
team that
gives
could
them
really
one
just
of their
dominate.
biggest contenders. The biggest differences this season is their
Dominate.
surprising surplus of options.
They the
on
only team that can
offense.
dominate the
Aaron Gordon
Timberwolves.
has taken another leap as a ball handler.
Bro,
as
there's
the
something
Nuggets
about
are
that
trying to
man
run more
Joker.
offense through him. Maybe more
There's something about that
importantly,
man
though, after a
Joker.
very slow start to the season, Cam Johnson
I'm
has finally
sorry.
looked like himself as he's shooting
Cam
45%
Johnson
from
locked
3
in
since March,
and
and he's punishing
Jamal
all the
Murray
Joker's
locked
double
in. I'm
teams
telling you,
with
you
his
can't do
shooting.
nothing.
This has given Denver more offensive options, which is why they still have the
You
best
can't do
offense in
nothing.
basketball. The concern, though,
It's
is on the
unfair.
defensive end,
If all 3 of them are
particularly with
locked in
quickness.
all
Most
game,
teams have
all series
succeeded
long,
against them by
you're
playing
not beating them.
defensive-line mismatches and using quick motion to create
I
all
don't
sorts of
care.
confusion.
Wimby, you're not
On
beating
this one,
them.
the Jazz
The
want to
Spurs are
attack
not
Nikola
beating
Jokic
them.
in the pick
I
and
don't
roll.
care about
He even
De'Aaron
tells
Fox and
Aaron Gordon
Wimby.
to take that
You're
screen
not
instead.
beating
But
Jamal
by the
Murray,
time
Cam
he
Johnson,
does,
Aaron Gordon,
Filipowski has already slipped the
Jokic.
screen, so there's no
Joker.
resistance at the basket. Their perimeter
You're
defense
not.
as a whole has slipped a bit this season, and because their best defenders have been
I
out for
promise you,
long
you're
stretches,
not.
this team doesn't have time to build that defensive
If they are all
continuity.
locked in, you're not
What's
beating
going to
them.
make or break this team is David Adelman. Last year, he did a fantastic job.
I don't care
pushing up
what
higher
OKC got
zones,
going on in
especially
a
against
7-game
OKC
series.
that significantly slowed down
No,
the game.
in a
He would have
7-game
Jokic
series,
up really
no.
high, and it would take time for OKC to process what was going on.
And they
before
play a
got
great
into their
defense
action.
too.
And because his team has
They
struggled
play
with
a great
high-tempo
defense.
offenses, Adelman is going to have to muck up the game again to give Denver a real shot at winning the title. With Jokic and Murray, the Nuggets are almost certainly going to be a tough out, but their defense will determine how far they can go. This final tier is the inner circle contenders, the teams that should be the favorites to win it all. Each team here has a real path to making and winning the finals.
What I say?
For what most people deemed as a gap
What
year,
I say?
the
Boston's
Boston
always
Celtics
a
are
favorite
again
to win.
contending for a championship, and it's for 2 main reasons. The first is their suddenly great wing depth. Hugo Gonzalez is their standout rookie, who guards the opposing team's best player every night. Shireman and Jordan Walsh also
Derek
have
White
taken
became a
turns
point
guarding
guard
great
for
players,
real
including
over his
SGA,
career.
and of course, with the likes of
People
Tatum and
people
Brown,
don't
they
realize
have enough fresh bodies
what
to
Derek
take on
White
all
used to
these
have to
great
go
perimeter
through when he
players.
was younger.
This helps make up for their
Oh
lack
my
of front court
God,
depth
bro, we
with
was
more
clowning
size in the paint.
him.
Watch for them to
He's
go
like,
small
what is
and
Derek
put
White
Tatum at the
doing?
5 for parts
Now
of the
Derek
game.
White
The other
evolved.
factor is their
Got
revamped
Jalen
offense.
Brown,
While
got
this team is still a high
JT,
ISO team, they have
got
added much more
Patrick
motion to
Stood.
create more space for the ball handlers to drive. Without
I
Tatum,
forgot who
this
they
team would
center
live with
is.
guard-to-guard screens, running them from the wing to open up more space for the ball handler to drive. And with Tatum back, they have added more flare screens to punish help defenders. Like here, Peyton Pritchard
That's their
sets a
center,
screen,
88.
so Brown has all this space on the right side to use. And when Hardenstein comes to help, Kada sets a nice flare on Chet, so that Shireman has a wide open three. So going into the playoffs, the biggest factor is if their
Like,
offense
look,
can execute.
he just
and function.
evolved
Over the past
over
5
time.
years, their offense has
People
crumbled a
don't
bit
understand that.
because their offense gets very stagnant down the stretch. In the early 2020s, that was most apparent against the Miami Heat, and last year was even worse in the first 2 games against the Knicks, which is why they
Look at
went
the
out
speed,
early.
the explosiveness.
Now with a little more motion and variety, it's how they execute down the stretch
Execute
that will
that,
determine how
yo.
far they go.
Idiot. You really think the Spurs got a chance to go to the ship? I mean, I'm saying like Wemby just been impossible to guard,
And here's why they're already
but it's like
first, the Spurs have tons of guard depth. Fox, Castle, and Harper.
Wemby being impossible to guard with De'Aaron Fox on the side
too.
too.
Misdirection, having Castle set screens.
I just don't think they got the
and let
shit.
Fox get downhill. These are the ways San Antonio has successfully attacked the basket, and this will be a huge asset when they face elite defensive teams like the Wolves and Thunder. Secondly, Wemby has taken the next step, not just offensively, but defensively. The Spurs have the second best defense
I know.
because they love playing this one-man
They have
zone.
the second
They
best
let Wemby
defense.
just roam in the paint,
I
while the
really
other
think
four
they have
guys
the best
are protecting
defense,
the
but
perimeter. He can then attend to anything from the mid-range to the paint, and the rest of the team rotates
they got
to
the best
open
defender
guy.
in the
For
league.
example, Wemby is guarding Sam Hauser, who is a 45% three-point shooter.
His
But as
arm
White
could reach
drives,
that. That's the
Wemby
problem.
slides down in the paint,
His arm
and
could
Vassell
reach
then
that.
slides down between Hauser and
His arm
Harper
can't.
to
But
attend
the
to
thing
either
is, if they
guy.
were to make a pass
White
and
looks like he had a
Wemby
layup,
replaces that
but
number
the alien
24,
made him
his
change
arm
that
could reach
shot.
any way
The
possible to
biggest
get
thing
the
look for is how
steal.
the Spurs defense
Like, you
handles
can't
the
do
half
nothing.
stretch bigs.
You gotta play
That
on
way
the
teams will then
outside.
bring
You
Wemby
cannot
in
be
the
an
pick
inside
and roll
scoring team.
and
The
drag
only
him
person
out,
that can
so the
compete
paint
with
is much more
Wemby
wide
is
open.
Joker.
Watch for how Wemby himself handles
If we
these,
really keep
and
it
if
at
the
the
Spurs have
stat,
more counters to keep Wemby in the paint. The
it's
other
just the
factor
Joker.
is the youth of this team. The Spurs would be the youngest team to win the finals if they do, and they also have a very young coach in Mitch Johnson. Just last season, we saw multiple bright young head
Here we
coaches
go
make some
again.
questionable
What
decisions
is
in the
with all
playoffs,
these YouTube
and Mitch
videos
Johnson will be
always
tested
having
in
some
the same
stupid
way.
static?
The Thunder enter the
I
playoffs
mean,
as the favorite to go back-to-back. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander will win the
that was
second
seen.
MVP and has absolutely dominated in
Okay,
the
so you always got a
isolation game
chance.
once again. Watch for him to
You
go
really
to the
keep him in the
sidestep
bud.
three at the end of games that has buried multiple
They always
teams.
got a chance.
After an SGA isolation, the
No
Thunder's
matter
second
what.
best offense is the Jared McCain Isaiah Hardenstein pairing. McCain and Hardenstein love working together on these dribble
Like I said, it's always a
to
stupid
open up
video.
more shots for the guard. And these
It's
two
a
alone
stupid
were
video
able to
just
keep the
adding
Thunder
random
as a top
statics,
10
y'all.
offense without Shea or J-Dub on
Random
the floor.
statics.
What will truly determine if
I'm
they
like,
can
where these
repeat
statics
is their
coming from?
overall
Y'all don't
spacing.
hear it.
At times, this
Y'all
offense
don't
gets
hear
very
it.
stationary,
Y'all
so
don't
teams
hear
can
it.
run
Y'all
all
don't hear
sorts
it.
of funky
I'm
coverages
listening
on them.
to it.
If
Like,
the Spurs and Thunder meet in the Western Conference Finals,
Come
watch
on,
for San
ear.
Antonio to run that
feel
one-man
me?
zone extensively to take Shea out of the mid-range and force his teammates to make shots. The reason teams can do this
but it's
is
like,
because the Thunder's role players can't
okay,
shoot.
see,
Alex Caruso and Luke Dort
dude
have
got
had some very
role
bad
players
shooting
that
nights against some
cannot
contenders
shoot
this
that
year.
ball.
So look for
But
teams
they know how to
sell
get
out
to the
from
paint.
to Shea and dare
They
one
know
of
how to
these
get to the
guys to
paint, and
consistently
SGA is always
beat
at the
them.
free throw line for 40 times a game.
And that then leads
Yeah,
to
what's
my
your
championship
prediction?
pick. After looking
You
at
got
all
the
these
Spurs,
teams
the
throughout the season,
OKC,
my prediction is the
Boston.
Boston Celtics. In the past, their
Who's
offense
your other
has always
go?
just been
On
about
the
hunting
East?
mismatches, which is not a
Knicks?
great recipe for success. But as
I
mentioned,
don't
they
remember.
made a lot of good changes to their offense this year. The spacing
Is
on
that
each
over the
possession looks
field?
much better, and they have 4 to 5 different guys that can all attack the basket. This team is just
That's
much
good.
deeper than the past few years,
Who do
so
you
they don't have
got?
to rely on Tatum and Brown being superheroes every night to
I think
win.
he got
And it's
Boston,
because of the
just like
changes they
me.
made to their system, instead of depending
I
on an
really
overly
do. I
talented
think I got.
roster,
It's
that
either
makes them my
Boston or
pick to win
OKC.
it all. So, hope you guys
If we
enjoyed
really
this
keep it
video.
in the butt.
If so, please feel free
Oh, I
to
didn't
like
even
and
hear.
subscribe.
It's whatever.
For other ways to support, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/Daniel Lee. Besides that, hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. The regular season is now.
Hollywood, smartness, greatness, wiseness. We prepare for the NBA playoffs. We are prepared for the NBA playoffs. We're locked in. We're ready to see who gonna take the title. My team, I got faith that we randomly gonna go through the play-in, ball out, make the playoffs, beat the OKC first round. That's what I believe, my team. But, you know, life. This video has some great takes. Preparedness, wiseness. Hollywood hungry though now. So you know what he about to do.